What's up, everybody? What is up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here up in northern Canada to bring you the GTRC Round 1 BMW E30 Mini Championship Series, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, we're back, and we're back with the Gran Turismo racing community here today. New season is fired up, and some big things happening here at the GTRC this season. There's some sponsors that have stepped into the big series that will be debuting, of course, next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And in typical fashion, that's how we always see it here at GTRC. They run a little mini series in between the off weeks of the major championship series that they run here in the esports organization. So this is the start of the new season, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to fire it off with some BMW E30s. Now, there is a specific build sheet for these cars provided by the Gran Turismo racing community, and then of course from there the drivers are allowed to make some minor adjustments to suspension and certain things like that. And you can see that qualifying is just about to get underway here, ladies and gentlemen, so we're a little bit behind schedule today, and that's totally on the broadcaster here, as we were dealing with some other things prior to the broadcast, but we're here and we're gonna catch the full action. Let's get rid of this. What's up, everybody? Haircut, new do. All right. So the boys are out. It's qualifying time, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a very, very full grid here today. We have 14 of 15 of our drivers on track here today. And I gotta tell you, moving into 2023, boy, the chaps are ready to race here today. It's gonna be some fun stuff here today. So let's go through our field and see who we have on track. Let's see who we recognize, and let's see who's new here this year, shall we? We have Asif Mughal coming in with the follow as well. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much. Welcome to the winner's circle, my guy. All right, so let's get up now. We got past that first timing line, so we do have GR Ibra on track here. We all know that he is a returning driver from last season as well, so he is returning here for the mini champ. We have Doug, who is reigning champion on the mini championship from last season, also here as well. He's in that Labatt's blue car, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Apex Racing's Pigums here as well, and we've seen him come in midway part of last season, and he's decided he's going to come back and try his luck at a full season here as well. We have Oliver Smalley here. I believe that this is his first full season here at the GTRC. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. We have Supra, of course, returning driver here. He's one of the OGs in the community. Petrolhead as well, who's been a part of the community for a long time. We got him on track here today. We've got Apex Racing's Bar 27, a new addition to Apex Racing, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, one of our officials here at GTRC, as well as Doug Barrel. We've got Type R, who's a returning driver as well. We've got UG Jake, who's a new driver into the series this season, another Apex Racing driver here. And this gentleman is quick, ladies and gentlemen, so it could be interesting to see what he can do against these other fast drivers on the track. We've got Trone, Mr. Trone Colby, definitely one of our most improved drivers here over the last coming season in the GTRC community. This guy has been flying and looking good out there, so it's going to be interesting to see what Trone has for us here today. And of course, there it is, the Cleveland Browns livery, chat. Hair Razor, again, one of the great official staff here at GTRC. He's the host of the lobby. Much love to this man. He makes sure that everything's in good condition for these guys to race on race day, so he's back as well. We got Bo Snipe here. He's going to come in for some running here today too. He's again, just not able to make a full season here over the last couple seasons, but he's on track today, so love to see it. And Sikkim, who is a new entry here as well, and this guy could drive too, chat, let me tell you. So we have 14 really quick drivers actually in the field here today. This should be a really good race. I mean, yeah, lots of fast drivers. I don't know what to say. Almost full field of returning drivers here in the mini championship too, so it goes to show how much these community members here, the family members over at GTRC, really do enjoy racing, as they have just absolutely filled the field. So cars are looking pretty good too, chat, I gotta tell you. So Doug right now is sitting on pole position, but we haven't actually put the hot lap in yet, so this is their official hot lap here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the rear end of that car just coming out on Doug there. We got a little slipstream train going on here too as well, so I believe I need to bring up some information, chat. Give me uno momento. Again, I dropped the ball a little bit today. Is what it is. Uno momento. uno momento. There's a lot of messages there. Woo. All right, so we're just going to go in. We're going to get some basic information for everybody here to break it down for you. All right. There we go. All right, let me break this down for you guys here. So while we're watching Doug Barrow, again, this is defending champion here in the mini-series, so he is obviously the man that everybody needs to beat this season in the BMW E30s. This could be a fun. This is going to be a fun series. We got the road cars out for this series. It should be really good. We're just looking for the settings. Of course, it's an hour-long endurance race, which is what we're used to seeing here from our GTRC community. We have custom weather. In the afternoon settings, it's on a 5 times variable, ladies and gentlemen, which means the time of day is 5 times multiplied, so the time of day goes by 5 times quicker. So the weather will change a little more dramatically during the race. It is a grid start with false start check. Of course, fastest first in qualifying starts on grid. Slipstream is real. Mechanical damage is light. It is 3 times tire and 3 times fuel here. It's 8 liters per second for the refueling speed as well. So they've upped the refueling speed a little bit here, which should change the strategy a little bit in the races as well. Grip is real. Your basic, typical information, what we expect to see here from the series, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is 10 minutes, so we're almost halfway through qualifying at this point. We're going to get back to the track in just a second, chat. I do apologize. Yeah, it's your basic settings. I'm just looking to see what the tire mandate is. Racing softs, ladies and gentlemen. It is racing soft tires required for the series. So, with that being said, we're going to see these guys with optimal grip on the track all race long. So let's go through the field here. We have Piggums now sitting on pole position. Let's get caught up as we're halfway through qualifying, chat. So we got Piggums now sitting on pole, 0.7 of a second ahead of the rest of the field. Petrohead setting provisional second place, 0.3 of a second ahead of Doug Barrow, who's 2.5 seconds ahead of Hair Razor, and then starts to tighten up. We got 3 100s between him and Trone, 2.2 between him and Supra, 3/10 between him and Ibra, 2/10 between him and Bo. So these guys have not gotten a handle on these cars yet, ladies and gentlemen. That is for sure. Jake has yet to put in a proper lap. So a little bit of struggle. Now Jake is coming in as a reserve driver here today, ladies and gentlemen. So he is coming in probably with a very small amount of practice, and he's just gonna have to figure this out as he goes. So once he figures it out, we'll see some times coming from that guy. Hey Corey, happy New Year, brother. Hope you had a fantastic holiday season, my dude. How are you doing? Coming in with that like as well in the stream. Much love, my brother. Hope everybody's had a good holiday season. We're now coming back into our regular lifestyles here as the new year is now kicked off. It's 2023, chat. So let's go through our field here, take a look at these guys as they're coming through. I do suspect we're going to see these times tighten up a little bit here. Nolander coming in with that heart as well. Much love, Nolander. How you doing, my brother? How are you doing? Hey, let's go, says Payme. I should have gotten into this. So sad I missed it. Hey, good luck, fellas. Hey, good luck, says Payme. Cheers, everybody. We appreciate all the support over on the GTRC and, of course, GT45 Gaming here. This is live on GTRC's YouTube channel as well, ladies and gentlemen. If you just go to YouTube and search GTRC, all in capital letters, look for that logo that you see on this screen right here on the top right hand side of the screen, and you know you have the right YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get a YouTube link in the description for you guys next week, so you guys can find it easier. We're always accepting new members of the community here at the GTRC, and of course we're always looking for more racers. So we see Doug have a little incident coming around the corner there. He's went and built some sandcastles real quick, decided to go and have a little break. Smalley here, you can see the times are starting to tighten up a little bit now. Piggum still has a massive lead here in provisional pole with a 209.6. Petrohead's at 210, so Piggum's the first driver to get into 209s here, which is fantastic. Doug's got a penalty there, so that's going to chalk this lap for him. Oliver there is starting to dip into that time now, so these drivers are starting to settle in. Oop, there we go. We got Jake starting to move up the grid here now, too, as well, with a 211. Ibra's up at the 6th. We got Trone in 7th. We got Hair Razor here in 8th. With Super in 9th. Bo in 10th. Type R in 11th. Tap in 12th. Bar in 13th. And Sikkim chilling. Sickim's just chilling. All right. So maybe wanting to start at the back of the pack, this may be a little bit of strategy coming from that driver. Instead of going and putting a blazing fast time in, that driver maybe just be opting to want to start from the back of the pack. So maybe a little strategy coming from Sikkim here. So already early on in this new season here at the GTRC, we're already starting to see drivers pull out existential strategies before the race even starts. I love it. Absolutely love it, chat. This is what it's all about, chat. We're here. We're going to kick 2023 off with a really big year here, not only at GTRC, but GT45 Gaming. The mini championship too, ladies and gentlemen. You can see there's lots of GT45 Gaming decals on these cars. I love the support these guys are showing to me here this season. You know, we love seeing that out there, guys. We appreciate you, the drivers, the league officials, you know, that throw these decals on the cars. Love you for it. Absolutely love you guys for it. Appreciate it. We love seeing it. Stay tuned as well, ladies and gentlemen. GT45 Gaming, in cooperation with the GTRC Gran Turismo Racing community, are going to be developing a special lineup of merchandise as well that is going to be sold on behalf of the GTRC community through the GT45 Gaming site. So all you GTRC fans out there, all you racers that have been waiting for some GTRC gear to wear around the house or on your live streams, it is coming in the near future, ladies and gentlemen. It will be available through a couple of different sites as well, so you guys will have some great options to choose from if you want to get some very exclusive GTRC custom merch throughout this season. That will be available to everybody coming very soon. So Tron, Hair Razor in the Martini style BMW here. You know, every series we always see one driver rocking that Martini livery. We love to see it, we really do. Alright, Secure Core on this car. We have some really creative liveries on the racetrack here, chat. It's really exciting. So this is it. Qualifying is over, so any drivers that haven't past the start finish line yet, we'll have to call that their last lap. Any drivers that have just gotten past the start finish line will of course continue on and finish that current lap. So we do have Pigham still on pole position, but that 3/4 of a second gap is now bled down to 3/10 of a second by Oliver Smalley here, and he's got about 3.5 tenths on Petrolhead there now behind him in third. So he did steal P2 off of Petrol there. You can see Petrol coming around here. He's got one more crack at it. Doug's coming around. He's got a little partner there and some slipstream. Jake's still hanging here in P5. Ibra's in the pits already. We got Tron here. He's coming around in P7. We got Hair Razor at 8. So we're not seeing a lot of change here right now. Everybody's kind of just stuck to their spots. You can see Sickham's just coming through here. Alright, so we're just going to watch that timing board. We're going to see if anything changes. Smalley comes through for his final lap. Petrolhead's just come through for his final lap. So it's looking like, without saying anything yet, let's let Doug come through here. We know Doug's capable of stealing that pole position from Pigham's here on this final lap, as well as he's just coming through that final chicane right now. One more corner to go for all of these drivers as they come around. Let's stick with Doug here as he comes around to finish off qualifying. Hair Razor with a 2:11. Doug does not improve on that time at all there. Jake is coming around here right now. Hair Razor did not improve either. So let's get up to Jake, as I believe he's right near the end of the lap here. Taking a lot of that exit curve. They're risking a penalty here at the end of the lap. A little tiny bit of lag coming from Jake here today. 2:11.505. So not quite improving there, but still holding in 5th place. Who else is still on a flyer here? I think we're all locked up. Bo Snipe just coming across, did not improve as well. I believe that's... Oh, the mellow yellow car. So there we go. BR Tap. Not sure why he's missed out on all of the shots here so far, but we have got a Cole Trickle car on track, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of Days of Thunder right here with the mellow yellow BMW. Fantastic. Love it, chat. That's my favorite. No ifs, ands, or buts right there. Absolutely great movie, Days of Thunder, ladies and gentlemen. You haven't seen it? Well, you don't even know what you're missing. Go see it. Go watch it. YouTube it, man. Come on. Miss Devious, how you doing? Madeline Crow coming in with the likes as well. Much love, everybody. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. So we do have Pigham sitting on pole position. He's going to be lined up with Smalley right beside him. Petrolhead's going to be on the 2nd row. We have Doug Burrow beside him. In the 3rd row will be Jake to lead off our 3rd row here. Sitting beside him will be Ibra. Hair Razor starts off the 4th row of the grid. And sitting beside him, of course, will be Tron Kobe, ladies and gentlemen. So now what's going to happen is there's going to be just a slight little pause. So what this is going to do, we have about a 2-minute break between qualifying and racing. This allows everybody to check connections, make sure they have everything running beautifully and perfectly. Anybody that may need a reset can, of course, take the time to do that now. So these guys have 2 minutes, of course, to get their, make sure the equipment's up to snuff, make sure the connection's strong. And this is just because we're having some issues with our lobbies here currently in the platform we're racing on. We are racing on Gran Turismo 7, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that may be wondering what's going on here, this is a league race. So these guys are driving 4-point standings and the top of the championship after 6 rounds, I believe it is, for this series. It could just be 5, but I think it's 6. Chris coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love, my dude. How you doing, brother? So Suzuka, I mean, what can we say about Suzuka? It's such a ruthless racetrack. We have the road cars out here today too with these BMW E30s. These are the mid-80 style road cars, ladies and gentlemen. They're old technology. They're made of metal. They're heavy. They're bulky. Yeah, so these drivers are going to have their hands full with these cars, especially around such a twisty, turny, technical racetrack like Suzuka. There's very few points on this track where you're just chilling, driving in a straight line. You're always going around some form of corner around Suzuka, and as long as you keep it within the curbs, you're going to be doing really well here around Suzuka. But that light green artificial AstroTurf that's on the outside of these curbs here at Suzuka are relentless. They are unforgiving. They will make you pay the ultimate price if you want to go outside the curbing and play out there. Just the littlest throttle input could put these BMWs in a spin, and a spin in the wrong spot on the track, of course, could collect a few extra race car drivers as well along the way. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how all these drivers handle it. Turn 1, of course, should be quite interesting here at Suzuka, as we have that absolutely huge sweeping double apex rolling first corner, fairly medium speed corner as well, and we're going to have 14 of these guys barreling down on top of each other coming into turn 1. Can these drivers get through safe and sound? We're about to find out. Hey, GT45 in chat, hope everyone is well today. Come on, Apex boys, let's go. Time to clock in and go to work, says Chris. There you go, chat. Time to go to work. Hey Rob, what you doing? Go type R, bro. Catch you soon. Hey, cheers, cheers. The fans are coming out today. We love to see that. Who is your favorite driver in the field, ladies and gentlemen? Drop a comment below. Let us know who you think has the win today. There is a lot of fast drivers in this field. It is really going to be hard to predict who is ultimately going to come out on top. I think at the beginning of this race, for the 1 hour race, I believe that the guy that gets out in clean air and just gets away is probably got the best shot. But lots of very, very calculated, smart, strategic drivers in this field here this season. And, it really is hard to say who's going to win. I mean, what can we say? Go Mellow Yellow. Let's go Cole Trickle Car. I mean, yeah, let's go Tap. Let's get some. Just brings me back to my younger years, ladies and gentlemen. Days of Thunder was absolutely epic of its time, and still to this day one of my top 5 movies of all time. So yeah, it kind of brings a little smile to my face to see that one on track today. I'm not gonna lie. So as you guys can see on the left side of the screen, and I'm not sure why the screen is so big, chat. Let's fix that, shall we? Oh, there we go. Ooh, mucho better, chat. Mucho better. Chad, my guy, how are you doing, brother? Chad with the like on the Facebook stream. Much love, my dude. Hope you're having a fantastic day, brother. Hey, I'm waving right back at you, Rob. Waving, hello. The missus, let's go Tap. Ooh, some Tap fans in the house. All right, chat, let's go. That's what I love to see. Hype. It's all about the hype, chat. So, I think we're ready to go here. I missed the race start because I missed it because I slacked. So here we go. Let's go see what happened here. Is everybody alive? All right. Bad commentator. Bad commentator. It looks like everybody made it out alive. The whole field is nose to tail here, so a very clean turn 1 here from our drivers here. We are in lap 1. Let's get some racing information up for you guys here real quick, and we'll let you guys see everything today because we don't have the fancy little thing that we do to hide our information. So it's open to all to see today, just because we love you guys so much out there. And welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's doing a fantastic job. Again, we are here for the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing Community. They are the hosts and presenters of this mini-series, and I am the host of the evening GT45 Gaming family-friendly broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. So please do feel free to allow the kiddos to come in and enjoy the action as well, if that's what they choose to do. And we do appreciate everybody's support here at the GTRC and, of course, GT45 Gaming. So here we go. Apex Racing's Pigham's in the lead on that pole position, and holding it we have Petrolhead here in second, so got ahead of Oliver on that race start. Oliver dropping down to third place from starting on second. Doug is in fourth, with Ibra chasing here in fifth place, so Ibra jumping Jake a spot there on the start of the race as well. GVG Jake here now in sixth place. Now that is Apex Racing's Jake, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, he's got an Apex Racing car there. It's just a different account that he's driving on here today, supporting that Ghost Viper gaming community. That is his OG community where he loves to hang out and comes from, so he definitely loves to support the guys over there at Ghost Viper Gaming. We got Super here in seventh place. We got Hair Razor sitting nice and cozy just on the back of the slipstream here in eighth. Pretty good spot to be right now. Sikkim is in ninth, so he started in last place. He opted not to qualify, wanted to start in the back of the pack, and very quickly jumps up into ninth place. Bo Snipe here in 10th. We've got Tap up into 11th here as well with the Cole Trickle car, the Mountain Dew car. We've got Tron Kobe here dropping down into P12. We've got Bar 27 down into P13 here, and Type R had some form of incident there and is a little bit on the back of the pack here. He's on the back foot. You can still see him, but he's got to do a little bit of work there to get back into that slipstream. The more that these guys stay nose to tail, it's going to be harder and harder for a solo individual driver to catch up to these cars, because two are always faster than one. So that's just the way physics works, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to racing. So that driver definitely wanted to be catching up to the back of the pack ASAP, not to let that pack slowly just drive away from him here. But Pigham's still leading here on lap 2, and we are on a 1 hour endurance format, ladies and gentlemen. There is not a set amount of laps in this race. It is a timer, so once that 60-minute timer hits, every driver that crosses start-finish line will take a checkered flag. If there is a driver that has passed the start-finish line just prior to the 60-minute time frame, they will get an extra lap, essentially. So it all depends on how fast you're driving, depending on how many laps you're going to get within this 1 hour time frame. Keeping in mind there is going to be a pit stop here. I highly doubt we are going to see any driver be able to no stop this race. We should probably see at least one pit stop throughout this race here today. Got Petrolhead and Oliver Smalley, and they're battling here, folks. This is for position, so Petrolhead did fend off Oliver Smalley here a little bit. So let's stick with these two just for a minute here. I have a funny suspicion that this may not be done between these two, and it seems like every time I leave a battle that we are just catching or missing, that's when the battle happens. So let's stick with it here for a minute. And we have Doug getting really wide coming through the long double hairpin there, and that's going to compromise his exit coming into this long straightaway here, and that's going to probably allow the guys to really kind of gain some ground in behind. So we have Petrolhead here sitting in second place, and we're just gonna jump in cockpit view here for a minute and roll down the track with Petrolhead as he's trying to chase the leader Pigham's down, but Oliver Smalley's still right there in behind. And you can see these guys can't really see a whole lot out the back window there, and you can see Oliver really make some time up coming into that chicane there. If he can get a good exit here, oh, he gets a little bit wide on that curbing. It slowed him down just a little bit. It's unfortunate. He might have been able to have the run on Petrolhead here coming up this straightaway, and Purple Lap does belong to Petrol, but Oliver taking it from him with a 210.4 right in behind his slipstream, ladies and gentlemen, slipstream. So here we go, coming into T1 here at Suzuka on lap 3, behind our leader Apex Pigham's on board with Petrolhead here, and you can see him get a little bit out of sorts as he comes through, a little bit sideways there on exit as well, but he manages to stay with Pigham's pretty well there. So we're seeing some pretty spicy driving in these cars. They're a little bit loose, so they're probably a little bit heavy on momentum shifting, and that probably does make these back ends of these BMWs really slide around a little bit. You have to keep these cars smooth to really maximize the time, because these cars don't really have much of an aerodynamic package like we see in our typical racing cars, ladies and gentlemen. These are street cars. They have a little bit of modifications done to them to allow for a little bit better traction and, of course, cornering and speed. There are some tuning done to these cars within what's allowed within the league allowances. But overall, these are stock. I mean, these are stock engines, they're stock transmissions, they're stock gearboxes, racing soft tires. Really, the only things these guys are allowed to adjust for the most part are the brake bias, a little bit of suspension tuning, some minor adjustments like that. And that's just to help, hopefully, maybe keep the car planted to the road a little bit better, or you can set that car up to be better in a high speed, or better at a corner. There's a few different ways you can set your suspension up on these cars, so that is going to play a factor in as we see Petrolhead take the lead from Apex Pigums there as well, coming into the double hard left-hand hairpin here, coming up this long straightaway, and I believe that leads into, what is it, 85R or something like that, which is a really high speed left-hand kink coming into the chicane here, Suzuka. So we're going to see Oliver take a penalty here. That's going to drop him off the back of these guys, which is unfortunate. So let's jump ahead to Pigums here now, as he just lost that race lead to Petrolhead. So Petrolhead's our second race leader here today, ladies and gentlemen. Suzuka's thus far today, and the first lead change, of course, of the race here. So as we're coming into the chicane there, you can see Petrolhead defending there. I don't think Pigums was really able to make a move there anyways, so kind of advantage for Pigums there is the defense put Petrolhead kind of in an unoptimal line around that chicane. You can see the gain that Pigums got. And I mean, Petrol's just going to outright defend here. He does not want to let any room on the inside of Pigums to try and get the move into T1 here. So we'll stick with this little battle here, as it's a pretty good one so far, as we're on board with Apex Racing's Pigums. And ooh, is he going to get it? He got a great run out of the corner there, giving lots of room to Petrolhead, and the race lead's going to go back to Apex Racing's Pigums, ladies and gentlemen. So the second lead change of the day, and Apex Racing's Pigums now taking the race lead back from Petrolhead, and we have a spirited battle here, chat. This is a very spirited battle between these two drivers right now, and we're going to stick with it just for a minute. I know there's probably plenty going on in that mid-pack right now, as you can see a huge cluster of cars there, but boy, this is some great racing up here up front for the lead right now. And Apex Racing's Pigums back in the lead, and he's going to try and lose Petrolhead here, but if you can stay with the driver in front of you through all the technical sectors around here at Suzuka, get to those couple long straightaways within that half a second range, it does leave you in really good opportunity to make a pass coming into the next braking zone at the end of that long straightaway. So Pigums needs to really open up a 3/4 to full second gap on this group in order to really sustain the pressure coming onto these big straightaways. And with the cars being so equal, it's going to be very tough to do. So Petrolhead is right there chasing. Let's get through our field and see some changes here. We have Smalley here in third. We still got Doug up in the fourth place here, so not a whole lot's changed up front except for that battle for first place. We have Jake here in fifth place now. You can see him giving the signal to Sickums to go around the left side there. So Sikkim has moved all the way up into P5. Jake has gotten a little bit wrong there. He got outside in the danger zone here, and you can see him in the grass, and he is just trying to keep the car. And he is just trying to keep the car together, and Bo Snake comes through with just a little bit of contact as he went through a little too hot, and helps Jake a little bit around there. So super unfortunate there. Again, you know, that's just racing awareness, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes the drivers need to just let off the throttle just a little bit under a caution flag waving in front of them there to make sure that they are aware of where the car in trouble is on the racetrack. So he went in way too hot and actually went off track to make contact with the driver there, and it only cost Jake, unfortunately, but it cost some time on the racetrack. So unfortunate incident there on the racetrack, but everybody keeps on going. That was a really good corner made there by Bo Snipe there as well. I mean, he came flying around that corner, but unfortunately for him, there was a car on his exit there. So now that's going to cost him in a battle with Tap here as well. Sorry, not Tap, Troll Kobe. And here we go. So a little battle here between 9th and 10th place right now. Ooh, and we see somebody getting it all wrong back there. And that's poor GVG Jake. He's gotten a little bit unsettled here. And judging by the flashing of those headlights, potentially he's driving on controller right now, ladies and gentlemen, actually. We have Type R here in 13th and Bar 27 in 14th here. So having a bit of a rough race here is Bar 27 right now to start. But Pigums looking very strong here this week as he is setting the pace here today in this race. Now, Petrolhead has been a fierce competitor, and clearly his main competition currently on the racetrack, as these two have been kind of jockeying back and forth a little bit for that first place position. But now it looks like Pigums is just managing the pace enough to keep Petrol from getting too close to make the move, and that's what Pigums really does need to do here as the race leader right now. He needs to control the pace, and when we say control the pace, we're talking about exactly those things. Just stay far enough ahead of that pack if you can't lose them, to not allow that pack to put immediate pressure on you to make the move at the end of these long straightaways. And Pigums is doing exactly that right now as we're coming around here. But he is in tough here as Petrolhead just will not let him go. Petrolhead is still just like there is a leash tied to those two cars. He is just right there. He cannot, Pickham's just can't get away from him. So this is going to be a great battle here between these two drivers. And I feel like it's far, far from over here as well. So Pickham's coming into braking here, and Petrol is still all over him. So Petrol may have an opportunity to try and get the move done on Pickham's here as we come around this straight, this huge, huge long run on the start-finish line straightaway. And as these two drivers come down, let's see if Pickham's decides to defend or not. Pickham's feels pretty comfortable with just leaving that part of the track open. He feels like Petrol's not there to force the issue. It almost seems like these guys have kind of settled down here now, and maybe they're working together a little bit. Petrol very easily could have made a move on Pickham's there in the slipstream if he really did want to, and he just kind of opted to settle in behind. So maybe he likes Pickham's pace at this point. He realizes, hey, you know what, if I just stick behind this driver, I can save a little fuel, I can save a little tire, and maybe jump him in pit lane instead of continuing to battle. And instead of having a two-way battle for the lead, you know, it could potentially turn into a four-way battle for the lead with Oliver Smalley and Sikkim right there, and I mean Doug right there as well. So Sikkim's now gotten up ahead of Doug as well, ladies and gentlemen. So all the way from the back of the pack, this driver's moved up into P4. Doug now in P5, Ibra in P6. We got Hair Razor in 7th place. We got Supra coming around here. He is in 8th. We've got Trollen coming around here in 9th. Tap in the mellow yellow car coming around in 10th. Jake now up into 11th, starting to close in on Tap here. Bo Snipe here in 12th. We've got Type R in 13th, and Bar rounding out the field here in 14th. So Bar's having a rough day here today. He looked real solid at the start of the race, and then must have just had a little bit of an incident, and he's now kind of got to get it all back together and just lock it in. You know what I mean, chat? You know what I mean, chat? We got Chad coming in with the like, we got April coming in with the like, we got Kevin coming in with the like, we got Scott coming in with the like, we got Joe coming in with the like as well. Much love, everybody. How we all doing? I'm just gonna go check up on my other chat here, and it is popping off today. Happy loves you all, race on. Hey, I see you, Pigums. Paymay up in here cheering first boys as well. So the Apex guys here on track, making the clubhouse all fun and exciting and rowdy as they're here supporting their boys on track as well, ladies and gentlemen. So fantastic stuff we're seeing. We love to see the race fans coming in. We appreciate you guys. The drivers, whether or not you actually hear it from the drivers, their favorite thing about putting on these races every week and competing and being live broadcast is you guys, the fans. They love seeing people coming in and cheering for them. It puts a smile on their face, and it makes their day, and it makes all the hard work even more worthwhile when you guys are here rooting them on. So we really do appreciate it. Hey chat, do me a favor, don't forget to like and share that stream out one time for us too while you're watching. That'd be super appreciative. It just helps the leagues grow, and of course the page grow to reach more people, so more people could come and enjoy the awesome racing provided here by the GTRC community and various other communities that we broadcast for. We absolutely appreciate it. Sikkim in 4th place, and he is putting some pressure on Oliver Smalley now. So let's jump on board with Sikkim here. Very quickly the fastest mover in this race, and well, clearly the fastest person on the racetrack right now. 208.8 fastest lap on racetrack right now as well. So we haven't seen a lap like that yet either, chat. We didn't see one in qualifying that fast. So definitely this guy is cooking on this racetrack right now. Him and his BMW are one, and they are definitely getting along right now. And so are we going to see the move coming in here? It's going to put him on the outside coming into this hairpin corner. It's not ideal, but can be done if you can keep it out of the marbles. And that's the tricky part. Is, ooh, you can see there, you got it into the marbles. Maybe a little bit of contact there between him and Oliver on that exit. But great job by both these drivers. But again, we were just talking, we got into the marbles there. And when I say marbles, if you see closely, chat, you can see little chunks of rubber or debris on the racetrack on the outside edges of the corners, and what that is actually pieces of rubber that fly off these cars as they're coming around the corners. So it's the tire wear. Then that's what we call marbles. They're little tiny little chunks of rubber that fly off the race cars, and they just sit on the racetrack. And then what happens when the race car goes over there? That was a great move by Sikkim there as well on Oliver. So 2nd place position change right there. I'm not sure what happened to Petrolhead. He must have went off track there and we missed it, but we see a fight back here coming from Oliver as well. So Oliver's like, mate, you might have got a nice move there, but we are not done fighting here. And this is a tough spot to be making a move on side by side. It looks like we're going to see Oliver just off the back out there. He tried to get the run, and Sikkim, of course, standing strong on his line there, and that forces Oliver to back out to make sure both these drivers make it through the corners. So we'll live to fight another day situation, and a great decision making there by Oliver. But man, what a great battle we're having up here at the front. Not sure what happened to our man Petrolhead here, though, chat. Must have had, maybe got a little bit of trouble, got a little bit wide on the racetrack, got a little bit loose, a little bit sideways, just like we saw right there, and Doug gets around him for 4th place. So Petrolhead struggling just a little bit all of a sudden with his BMW here, and there he is. He's right back on it, side by side through the S's, chat, and this is not going to be an easy task for these two drivers. You can see a little bit of tire rubbing going on right there. There's not a lot of room around this S sector to go side by side, but look at these two go. What a cracking battle these two are having. All of a sudden, Petrolhead is showing that, hey man, you know what? I want my spot back. We ain't done with this yet. And great driving by Doug and Petrolhead right there, ladies and gentlemen. And Doug just winning out on that battle as both these drivers go side by side through the S's at Suzuka. Wow, great job by these two drivers. That just goes to show what the skill level is on track here today. That was a cracking battle right there. And Doug coming out on top. He's going to hold 4th place. Petrolhead's in there tucked in. But what that's done is allowed Ibra into the equation now. So now this is starting to become a 3-way battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th place. And speaking of, there we go again. We had Petrolhead taking a look on the inside of Doug there. He just couldn't make it happen. A little too hard on the throttle. Got that car loose. And he just couldn't get the job done. So now he's going to have to chase Doug back down, get back into that slipstream, and wait for another opportunity. This guy is racy today, chat. Petrolhead is looking very feisty. Admin checking in. Hey, hashtag top admin, Mr. Joe Mercier. Ooh, and Petrolhead over pushing there, gets a little bit wide in the corner, keeps it together. Ibra's going to grab the spot. Ibra moving up into P5, chat. This has been a fantastic race here today. Woo. You can see Petrolhead, he's trying to get the dirt off those tires by weaving side to side so he can get a good bite on those tires coming into this high-speed left-hander. And this is a high-speed left-hander, chat. These guys are basically full throttle around here. They're not letting up unless they have to. So coming into the chicane, these guys are hard on the brakes, and when you're doing that, you're really changing the momentum in these cars, and that can really create these cars to get unsettled. They start to slide sideways, and they become a handful to drive. So these drivers are doing a fantastic job here today with this. Let's go see what's going on up front here now. We have Apex Racing's Piggums. He's got 2.3 second gap on the 2nd place driver, Sikkim here. Sikkim clearly the fastest driver on the racetrack, and Piggums here with a half-second penalty. So that is going to allow Sikkim to really close that gap up here once Piggums has to go serve that penalty. And you can see Oliver is still right there as well. He has not let these guys get too far away here. So we're seeing some pretty crazy battling so far, chat. Whew, it has been some spicy love. I love it. Alright, so what we got down? We got Doug here in 4th, and Ibra now pressuring Doug here, as of course we've seen Ibra get around Petrol, with Petrol going a little bit wide in the double left-handed apex corner there. And Doug's doing a really good job here. He's not panicking. Doug's a really good driver. I mean, Doug is the type of driver that likes to control the whole race. He likes to be out front. Oh, we see Petrol just getting it a little bit wrong in the background there again, and almost losing that car again. He has done a fantastic job at gathering that car up today. We will definitely say that, chat. Ooh, Doug gets it a little bit wrong on exit there now, and Ibra got a nice, good, clean, solid exit there, so that should allow Ibra to potentially close up on the back of Doug's car here. So the Labatt's car under pressure here from Ibra, but he's looking solid. Let's see what happens as we come through this double hard left-handed apex here. And this is a fairly high-speed section as well, so if you get it wrong, you pay the price. If you get it right, man, you get a great exit coming out of this corner right here. And it looks like Ibra got a really good exit there. Doug got a good exit as well, and Petrolhead was a little bit squirrely coming out of there, so he's probably going to lose out of the deal here between these three drivers. But Ibra's just chilling back there. He's starting to close up on the rear end of Doug. He may be potentially trying to set him up for a move, maybe at the end of the start-finish line straight, going into turns 1 and 2 there maybe, but he is definitely right there. It's going to all come down to the exit of the chicane and how close Ibra does come out behind Doug out of the chicane here, if he's got a shot at the move. And oh, Ibra got it wrong. Petrol's going to get the job done. Ibra got it all wrong there, got a little too much curb, got some power on the green stuff, and it put that car out of sorts, and he's going to give that position back away to Petrolhead, so Petrol back up into P5. Ibra with that mistake, losing some ground there in 6th. Hairraiser's here in 7th, and he's got a gaggle of cars coming with Supra and Trone Kobe. So Trone just tucked in here in 9th place. We got Bo Snipe in 10th. We've got Jake here in 11th. We've got Type R in 12th. Bar 27 here is in 13th. And Tap now down into 14th place. So the back end of the field definitely having a little bit of a tough race here today. And you can see that they're swapping those positions, just making little mistakes. It's costing them the time on the racetrack. And unfortunately for them, right now, out of the running for the podium here today. back to our race leader with Apex Racing's Pick'ems though, and I mean we have a couple of cars really close together here, but we're not seeing any real initial battling quite yet. I want to go check on the midfield here. Was this where we're looking? Yes. Looks like not too much is happening here at the moment. We are probably starting to near a pit window, ladies and gentlemen, if I had to guess. I mean, you guys can see what I can see, so I'm not hiding anything from you or even speculating on what I can see and what you can't see here today. Tires is really going to be the defining factor here. Clearly, it looks like we're going to see a one-stop style race, as we still see a lot of these drivers with a fair amount of fuel in their gas tanks, and of course, various tire wear on the drivers' cars from there. So Pick'em's in the lead, but now under pressure from Sikkim here. And Sikkim is definitely on the tail of the leader. Now this driver started all the way in the back of the pack here today, so he's looking solid out there. Oliver here in third place, Doug in fourth, Petrolhead here in fifth. We've got Ibra in sixth with Hairraiser here in seventh. We got Supra in eighth with Tro and Kobe very, very close behind here in ninth place. Moving through the grid, rounding out our top 10 here is Bo Snipe, and he's having we're not going to say it. We're just not going to say it. UG Jake here in 11th place. We're not going to curse the poor man. Type R here in 12th. We've got Bar 27. Ooh, and we're just catching Bar 27 having a little bit of an issue coming out of the hairpin there, as you can just see him getting back on track. So that's the kind of day that we're seeing from Bar 27 here. We have lost a driver. It looks like we've lost Tap, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so we have lost BRU Tap, and that means mechanical failure for that driver. Had to pull the car in behind the wall, so down to 13 we go, ladies and gentlemen. Apex Racing's Pick'ems here, and he's doing a good job at keeping Sikkim in behind right now, but for how long, I guess, is the bigger question. Sikkim's fastest lap is a 2:08.8, and Pick'em's fastest lap is a 2:09.7, so that's 9/10 of a second difference between the fastest laps on the racetrack between these two drivers right now. Currently, very equally paced. Oliver here in third place, and he's very equally paced with the 2 leaders as well. He's just a little bit off of those 2 leaders, so hard to gain ground when you've got the same pace, but again, you're not losing it, at least maintaining the pace of the lead. Doug here in 4th place, and Petrahead starting to close back in on Doug a little bit here now as well, so let's keep an eye on this. We have a potential battle for 4th and 5th place developing here again between none other than Doug and Petrolhead there. And we'll try to get a chance to get a good look at some of the liveries here throughout the race as well, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen a couple of keynote things on Petrolhead's livery that I'd like to point out, because he's clearly showing support for our world out there, and I think that it's pretty important messages on that race car, to be honest. So we are going to point some of that out. We have GR Ibra here in 6th place. We've got Hairraiser. Oh, that car does look good with that Martini livery, doesn't it, chat? Here in 7th place, we have Tro and Colby, and I mean, you always know Tron when you see Tron. Supra here in 9th. We've got Bo still in 10th. Jakey's closing in on Bo here a little bit in 11th place. So Jakey's starting to settle in a little bit to this now. We have Type R here in 12th, and of course Bar 27 rounding out that field there in 13th. We did lose one car due to some form of issue, and had to park it in behind the pit wall here in round 1, so super unfortunate for that driver, but they did make the race, they did qualify, they put in the laps they could, so they will still finish with 14th place points, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not all for nothing. They are still rewarded for the time they did put in on the racetrack, so just super unfortunate there for Tap. And we don't get to see the mellow yellow car. Makes me sad, chat. Nah, it's all good. All the cars look fantastic on the racetrack. The Apex cars are looking like Apex cars. There's a little bit of a different design here for the BMWs by the Apex guys here this time, though. Lots of extra lines and graphic work on the door panels of these cars, really making them pop out here today. So Apex guys looking good as always on the racetrack. We've got Sikkim here, and he's got a Fast and the Furious livery going on here. He's got a little Fast and Furious theme rocking and rolling here, showing a little love to an absolutely amazing franchise for anybody who's car fans and racing fans. We all love Fast and the Furious of one form or another. And of course, always going back to the originals being the best one still to this day, in my opinion. Some super OG stuff there, but looking good, and he is all over the back end of the leader here right now, as maybe he's looking to make a move here. He's really started to close up on Pick'ems here, so it kind of looks like he's maybe thinking about trying to make something happen on the racetrack here. Let's see what happens as we get out of this sector and see if he opts to try and make a move on Pickham's going into the high-speed kink. And looks like Sickham's got a nice tight line. A little bit of contact there between the two drivers. It might have been lag induced, actually. It does look like there's just a small amount of lag coming from Sickham's car there. I can't really hear it. You guys can probably hear it better than me because I don't have my game sound headset on. So do let me know if anything isn't sounding right, please, chat. We do appreciate that, of course. Got Nolander B fam coming in with that like and that share as well. Much love, my dude. Hope you're doing fantastic. And let's talk about Nolander, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see Nolander Gaming next weekend here for the GTRC as well. Nolander Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, and one of the newest additions to the commentary team here at GTRC community. We will see Nolander Gaming do our Pro-Am division next weekend for GTRC at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, ladies and gentlemen, live on his channel. So we have 2 lobbies coming next weekend. A little bit of what you guys need to know for next weekend. The 14th is the big championship startup here for the GTRC community. It is a GT4 championship series. It is a 12-week series, and it's going to be an absolute bomb series. The names in the Pro and the Pro-Am divisions, the racing is going to be incredibly tight, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned next week, 3 p.m. Eastern time, of course 8 o'clock UK time for those of us that are watching from the other side of the pond. We'll have both broadcasts to you live. GT45 Gaming will be bringing everything to you live, of course, like we always do, my channels and GTRC Community YouTube channel. And then Nolander Gaming will have that feed live on his channel, and will upload from his channel to the GTRC YouTube after the race is done, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely want to stay tuned next weekend, as we're going to be broadcasting both lobbies right beside each other live for the GTRC racing community next weekend as well. And we will have each other tagged in the Facebook stream so that you guys can jump back and forth between both the races to see how your favorite drivers are doing as well. So lots of new things coming in from the GTRC this season. I told you they were on the big things this year. GT4 Championship Series is also a sponsored series this season, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers have prizes on the line, a lot to fight for this season in that GT4 Championship. We already know the racing is incredible in these major championships here at the GTRC community. This is just going to add fuel to the fire. It's going to amp up the intensity, so don't miss out in this GT4 Championship Series next weekend. Come see who the sponsors are, come see who the drivers are, and definitely come show the love to our newest broadcaster here on the GTRC broadcast team, ladies and gentlemen. Sickham's been doing a real good job of keeping Pickham's in tow here, but Pickham's is doing an even better job of keeping Sickham at bay here. Now, as you can see from what I can see, obviously the leader's tires are in much better condition than Sickham's tires, as he's coming into pit lane right here, right now, actually. So there we go. We're going to see the first pit stop of the day. It does belong to Sickham. Now, Sickham opted not to qualify and just start from the back of the pack here today by choice. Pure strategy, obviously, from this driver. And looking at an undercut situation here now. So we're just waiting for this driver to get into pit lane here, and then we're going to get a good look at that race car. This is always the best time to get a look at deliveries. This is when we get the best camera angles on them. We're going to wait for Oliver to come in here as well. So we have 3 drivers making their pit stops here. They're going in a little bit earlier than the rest. Going to try an undercut situation here. And we're just going to allow the pit crew. Great tire change, boys. Great job. Gotta tell you, everybody's looking good. And we just had a quick tire change, it looks like, from Petrolhead. As we didn't even get a chance to look at his car in pit lane. He was there for such little time. And oh no, we've lost Petrolhead? Oh my, Petrolhead coming into pit lane, and he has put it behind the wall, chat. Not sure what's happened there. But Petrolhead has obviously had some form of issue with that car. He brought it into pit lane and told the team, that's it, man. This car is done, guys. We got to bring it behind the wall and get it looked at. So down to 12 out of 14 here today. 2 drivers having mechanical issues with those cars and having to pull them off track. And super unfortunate, but much like Tap, ladies and gentlemen, of course, Petrolhead will still grab 13th place points there, as he did retire later than Tap, of course, in the race. So now we got all our pit lanes coming. We got Bo Snipe coming out, we got UDJ coming out, we got Tro and Kobe coming out. We're going to try and get a good look at these liveries, and we got Apex Bar coming in. So we'll get a first good real look at one of these Apex liveries here as they're coming in with Apex Racing's Bar 27. So been pretty good racing here so far. You guys have been just chilling out. They had a really good racy start, and now it's the mid part of the race. This is when everything settles in. These guys are playing on their strategies. And the camera crew apparently throwing some shade at Apex, not giving them the primo camera angle there, Chad. I don't know. We may have to go have a little chat with our camera crew on track here today. Let's see if they give Piggum some better camera angles here as he pulls in on pit lane here. Midnight Gobo, you got the rubber. Hey, head up bar, tires and fuel, let's stay safe. Hey, look at GTRC chat just lit up today, chat. We love to see that. Really do appreciate you guys going over there and showing all that support to these guys there on their community page. Absolutely massive. Don't forget to like and share as well, no matter what platform it is you're watching on. Please, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a free thing to help us grow. And again, kind of getting shafted here with the Apex cars. They're just not getting great camera angles here. Where's Doug? We got Doug, we got Hair Razor. We're going to try and get just a good look at the cars, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get Piggums as he's coming out of pit lane here. And you can see Sikkim is just going to jump out ahead of Piggums there, so the undercut does give the advantage to Sikkim. He does have the race lead, so the race lead does belong to Sikkim here as Piggums comes out of pit lane, but I mean, it's a second. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So undercut working, but does the advantage belong to Sikkim or does the advantage belong to Piggums because he has one lap newer tires than the driver up in front of him? Oliver Smalley here in third. Now he's made his pit stop. Ibra's made his pit stop. Doug's made his pit stop, and right on the tail of Ibra for fourth place here. So some fresh tires and a little bit of rejuvenated confidence from these drivers to push these cars a little extra right now. Hair Razor here in sixth. We've got Supra now in pit lane here as well as he's coming out. And we've got Type R coming into pit lane here as well. How you doing, Paul, my guy? Good evening, coming in with that like as well. Much love, my dude. Appreciate all the support here on the page. Page is absolutely fantastic. All right, so there we go. That is pit stops. I think that's every driver has bar pit. He has pit. So back into the racing, chat. That's it. We're halfway through this race here. We're at the 32-minute mark of this race of 60 minutes. And Sikkim now in the lead of this race. Oliver Smalley here in second. Piggums making a mistake. Now dropping down to third place here in 18 seconds off the lead. So super unfortunate there. Not sure what happened there, but Oliver Smalley now moving up into second place. And Sikkim has a 14-second lead now on the second place driver. So talk about a cushion, chat. Instant cushion right there for Sikkim. He just needs to focus in on some good, consistent, clean laps for the last 27 minutes of this race. And his undoing can only be done by him at this point. So Oliver Smalley chasing here in second place. We got Piggums here in third. And it's really unfortunate because I think we were going to see a really great battle between those two at the end of this race. Ibra and Doug here still in fourth and fifth place. And let's jump on board with Ibra here for a minute and see if anything develops here between these two drivers. You can see he's got a little bit of a better vision out of his car compared to some of the cars we've seen. He doesn't have the opted NASCAR style rear wing on it where it lifts up on the back of the wing. So choosing to go with a little bit of a different style spoiler on this car as compared to some of the cars, and it actually makes the visibility just a tiny bit better in the backside of that race car. Now, what you see in the rearview mirror on the actual screen, ladies and gentlemen, is not what these guys actually see through that back window. If we're talking about a real race car here right now, if this was a real BMW E30 and we're looking through the back window or in the rearview mirror via camera, all you're going to see is roll cage and very, very little of what's actually going on behind you. These race car drivers actually have very limited visibility, and that is a big part due to a few different reasons. Obviously, all the safety equipment that is required inside the cars, the roll cages and stuff like that, the aerodynamic packages needed to help these cars stick to the road at higher speeds, of course, do affect visibility as well. But then the drivers have very specialized seats. Now, their seats that these guys race in are very custom designed. They're custom fit to this particular driver, as we see Ibra having to bail out of a situation there. So that's going to give Hair Razor a really great opportunity to close up some big time on that fifth place driver there. But they also have to use what's called a Hans device. And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, a Hans device is a very special device that is strapped down to your shoulders, connected to your racing helmet. And then when you put your 5-point safety harness on top and click it all together, that 5-point safety harness sits right on top of that device that sits right over top of your shoulders. And what that does is it stops you from getting your head jerked around if there's an incident or an impact in the race car. Well, the theory behind it anyways, and they do work very good. Hans devices have been saving drivers' lives for many years now in racing, so it's a very good safety feature. But with that safety feature, and to the point of the discussion I'm having here, is that the drivers really don't have a range of motion side to side to look in their side mirrors or to do a shoulder check like we do in real life when we're driving to change lanes, for example, ladies and gentlemen. The race car drivers cannot do that. So the drivers really do require or do rely on what very limited visibility they have, their experience, and of course radio contact with their team to keep them informed of what's going on, what the split time may be from the guy behind and the guy ahead, and things like that. And that does help these drivers be a little more aware where they are on the racetrack. Obviously in the game we have some extra features like a radar. We have a little map that shows us where the cars are behind us or in relation beside us on track. In real life racing, these drivers obviously do not have that option. They do rely solely on their skills and what little they can see out of these race cars, and of course what their team information relays to them. So unfortunately the game view really doesn't do it any justice. I mean, that's, if you look behind, that's what you're going to see. You're probably going to be able to see a lot better, but when you look in your mirror, all you see is roll cage in your mirror and just a tiny little triangles of space of window. And that's what these drivers really rely on to see what's coming up behind them, and a little eye glance over to the mirrors if you can get enough of them, and that's about what these guys get. So very difficult conditions. So yeah, I like to always try and talk about the real racing aspect and what Gran Turismo does here. Now, not to take anything away from Gran Turismo, I think they've done a fantastic job with the base line of this game. It has its issues still, and they are working on it. We're being very patient and waiting for these fixes to come, and we do know when these fixes come, it's just going to be even more spectacular. So, but great game. I mean, we're able to take Mom's minivan and put it on the racetrack and put a race on for the viewers and the fans to watch if we want. We can beef it up, we can put nitrous in them. I mean, we can do a lot of fun things with this platform. It's not just restricted to GT3 and GT4 cars and LMPs and super formulas. You know, the GT7 platform really does open it up for the motorsports enthusiasts out there, whether it be real or in virtual reality in sim racing. And we're seeing it firsthand here today with these BMW E30s on track. We're going to have a whole series of this for you guys every other week. So it's going to be some fun watching. And I got to tell you, these cars are looking real good out there. They're looking real good out there. Got Ibra here in 5th place. We got Hair Razor in 6th, Supra in 7th, Trone in 8th, GT Jake up into 9th place. So moving up a couple positions there from 11th. Bo Snipe still holding down that top 10. He's been very solid in that top 10 position here today. Type R chasing in 11th, and Barr having a bit of a rough day today, but he's still there, still putting in his paces in 12th place. But Sikkim is just ripping up the road here right now. Definitely in a very good position with only 21.5 minutes remaining in this race to bring home his first race win here at the GTRC, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Cody B. Yo, what is up, Cody B? How are you, brother? Hope you're absolutely having a banger of a day, my dude. Oliver Smalley here in 2nd. Pagums rounding out that top 3, ladies and gentlemen. It's been some tough racing here today for these drivers. We've seen lots of guys make small mistakes that cost positions or cost them big time on the racetrack. Again, Suzuka is just unforgiving, and I mean, we just seen Ibra go flirt with that artificial AstroTurf on the outside of the curbing there, and we've seen it a few times already today where that curbing has made the drivers pay the price. So you have to really be right and tight around Suzuka to be successful at Suzuka. You just can't make mistakes here. Mistakes definitely make you pay at Suzuka. There's no medium there. There's no, oh, that was just a little bobble. A little bobble is a big mistake here. It costs you a ton of time. So, yeah, it's just a tough racetrack. Definitely a tough racetrack. Tron Kobe here up at the 8th place. DVD Jake chasing 2.29 seconds behind. Both snipes about 7 seconds. And then we got the big gap to 11th place. So, really big separation here in the field today. Pit strategy is going to be a 27 to 30 lapper. It kind of looks that way, doesn't it, Bammy? It does look that way. I don't actually know. Again, I'm a little unprepared for today's race, just to do it a lot going on behind the scenes right now. My bad. We'll have much better information for everybody in round 2 in 2 weeks. So And that's all on me. That's my fault. We're not pitting this anything on the league or the organization. Everything's been posted in the Discord server for quite some time. I've just been busy. I just haven't had time to go get dialed into the series yet myself. So we will be dialed in as we move forward here. Now that we've got it kicking and everything's looking fantastic, the drivers are looking spicy. We're definitely going to get in tune with what's going on here in the series. Pigham's starting to catch up with Oliver Smalley here, so he has close 4 seconds up on the leader since whatever happened to Pigham's cost him to go into third place here, but he is back on the back end of Oliver here, so potential battle definitely starting to brew here between third and second place. I guess the bigger question is, do they battle or do they work together to try to close that 15-second gap on the leader? Doug Barrow here, 8 seconds behind the podium right now, not out of this yet either. We know this guy's a quick driver. Again, he is defending champion here in the mini-series, so we know that he can definitely win races. We have Ibra here in 5th place. Just a good old classic Castrol livery too. You can always appreciate a good Castrol GTX livery right there. I mean, huge in motorsports all over the world, no matter what kind of motorsport it is. Castrol is definitely a big part of it, so love seeing that love out there. Hair Razor here again, that Martini livery. It's definitely a good looking BMW, gotta say. We got Supra here, his car's looking good too. Was it Secure Core Omega, whatever that says, Press, I think that said. Not sure who that is, maybe a UK company or something like that, or maybe it's just a fictitious sponsor, I'm not 100% sure. Cleveland Browns, of course, on Trone Kobe's car. We're so used to seeing that. And we have GVD Jake really closing in on Trone now, so he is in hunting mode. We know Jake is a quick driver, and he sees the bumper of the driver ahead of him. Now it is in hunt mode. Track this guy down and try and get past him. So we'll see if he can do that. Both sniping 10th place there. A little bit of a slow exit there coming out of that corner. Type R here in 11th, and Apex Bar has actually caught up to Type R, so I'm not sure if Type R just made a little bit of a mistake there or what has happened, but now Apex Racing's Bar 27 up in a battle for position here, potentially moving up into 11th place. Let's stick with this for a minute here. Let's give our boy Bar 27 a little bit of love here as he's coming into this hairpin. You can see he had to bail out of that corner a little bit not to make contact with the driver, and it is the driver's responsibility chasing to ensure he doesn't make contact with the driver in front, and that's what we just seen happen right there, actually, ladies and gentlemen. That's a perfect example of that. He knew that he was coming in hot under braking, and he was going to make contact with the rear end of that car in front of him, and you've seen him bail out of the corner. You've seen him go wide just so he didn't make contact. That is his responsibility as a chasing driver, so that was a very good example of race patience right there, ladies and gentlemen, and waiting for the right opportunity to try and make that move. He knew he didn't have the move there. He didn't have the right line going into the corner to make the move easy, so he just opted to back out and live to fight another day. And here we go, side by side as we come through the kink. Are they going to go side by side? This could get spicy. No, again, Bar's just going to slightly back out enough to make sure both of them get through there safely, and then he's going to fight on. So you see a semi-defensive move here from Type R. Now, from what I understand from Type R is he is an extremely good defensive driver, and Bar has got his hands full trying to get around Type R. So we'll be keeping our eye on this here a little bit as, of course, we continue on. This is such a great camera view. I just wish I could rotate the cameras while in this view a little bit, but this really is a great shot here by Gran Turismo. I much love Gran Turismo, but I do have a request, PD. When do I get that awesome wheel cam that you guys displayed on the World Tour? This past World Tour event in Monaco? I would really love that that wheel cam, please. Hashtag send it to GT45 Gaming. Love you, PD. So we are on board with Sikkim here, and he is looking really good here in the lead, but something has obviously happened here, chat. He had a 14-second gap, and now that gap is closed down to 3/4 of a second. So, not sure what happened to our race leader here, but oh, it is getting spicy again up front. All three podium drivers are right there, front to back. Sikkim getting really spicy around that corner, and he's starting to feel the pressure. He realizes, oh no, I just gave away a massive cushion here, and now I've got two drivers right back on my back door here. So he's pushing now. He's pushing. He's trying to open that gap back up, but he has two very quick drivers chasing him down. And now that they can see that leader, that's a whole different ball game now. And you can see Sikkim there. He is absolutely trying to just get that car around quick and get that gap open back up. But Oliver Smalley and Piggums, these guys are no joke. They're not just going to let him drive away now. They seen he had a 14-second gap. They were looking on a different strategy, but now the race lead is in grasp. These guys are going to be cooking for it. Doug in 4th place here. Please don't drink and drive, it says on the front on that car. I do agree. Please, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, do not drink and drive. Make good, safe decisions out there. We've been saying it all through the holiday season. We're going to continue to say it all throughout 2023. Make good, safe decisions out there. It's not worth it. Leave your car where it is. Take a cab. Get somebody else to come pick your vehicle up and drive you home in that vehicle, whatever the case may be, or have a safe place to stay. Please do not drink and drive. Make sure everybody gets home safe and sound to their families every night this season, ladies and gentlemen, all year long. Ibra here in 5th place, and he has been looking pretty good too. 3 seconds behind Doug. Hair Raiser in 6th, Super in 7th. Lots of big spaces here. Jake has gotten around Trone now, so Trone's actually dropped 2 spots there, so Trone must have made a mistake. Bo in 10th, up in the 9th, so Trone's now rounding out that top 10. Type R still in 11th, and Barr's still chasing him, so again, there's still 13.5 minutes remaining in this race. You know, some drivers know that, hey, that might be the last position I'm going to get here. You know, I better make this move at the right time. I better process and plan this move and pick the time when I need to do this. So, penalty for the race leader, ladies and gentlemen, and not ideal when you've got 2 guys pushing each other down the racetrack to try and catch you up, and you're going to have to serve a half-second penalty in a very bad serving zone here in Suzuka as well. That half-second penalty is going to cost them about 1.1 to 1.2 seconds, all said and done, with 2 cars slipstreaming together like this. This is going to be a 3-way battle for the lead here, I think, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, we are going to just see what's going on through the field here real quick. And I want to get back up front there because I really do see that being the action here at the end of the race currently right now. Oh, Bar 27 has gotten around Type R there. So Type R got a little bit wide coming into the hairpin, it looks like. He got a little bit out into the toolies there, and that was enough for Bar 27 to get around. So patience paying off for Bar 27 here as he moves up into 11th place. Now he just needs to open up a gap on Type R here and just not let him get back into the fight. And that was a good position gain there for Barr after having a pretty rough race day here so far. But there's always positivity in racing, and racing is racing, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know what is going to happen. There's definitely blood in the water. P2 and P3 are on the hunt. Facts. This is a timed race, my man. 60-minute. Simon holds his line. Work for it, Barr. Facts. You are not wrong, Rob. You are not wrong. Very, very good driver is Type R. Alright, so Sikkim is going to have to serve this penalty here, just coming out of these corners, so he's going to get about a quarter of the way up this straightaway, and that's where that penalty line is, and oh, it's a painful one. It is only a half a second, granted, but due to the speeds of the cars coming up behind him, that half second is going to turn into at least a second. So we are going to see that 2 seconds disappear very, very quickly. It is 1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1... 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 full second and still dropping that the leader lost with that half-second penalty. So a full second lost having to serve that penalty where he has to serve that penalty here in Suzuka. And that's just allowed Smalley to even close in more. And Piggum's just a smidge off that pace of these guys. But I wouldn't count Piggum's out of this yet, chat. We got Doug here in 4th place and 11 seconds off these guys. So it's going to be a tough comeback for him. But these guys get racy at the end of the race. They get a little spicy. They try to do something silly and make a move in a bad spot. Doug could pay the Doug could be the big winner out of that if he could just get in, alert you a little bit closer. Maybe get that to about 8-9 seconds. A decent sized incident's going to cost those drivers about that much time. It might be a free podium spot for him. So he is going to continue to push without a question of a doubt. We have Supra and Jake is chasing Supra down. Now, so Jake is starting to feel cozy in his BMW here, and he is really starting to track down some of these drivers. Sikkim, though, starting from last, chose not to even put a qualifying time in, start at the back of the pack, and right now leading this race. So, I mean, obviously, huge love to Sikkim here today, ladies and gentlemen, showing some incredible pace and skill here on the racetrack, because not an easy feat to do. Pigham's here in second now, so Pigham's has gotten around Oliver, so Oliver must have made a small mistake, and now there's a 3.5 second gap back between second and first place again. So some interesting battling happening here up front right now. Sikkim, like I said, 3.4. All right. Whew, what a battle it has been. It's been a race of attrition here for our top three guys. Oliver hasn't been in the race lead here yet today, but boy, he has been hunting for it all day. Pigham's has been battling for that race lead all day with Sikkim and of course Petrohead, who we've seen having to retire out early here today. We got Doug Burrow here in 4th place, and Doug is doing a great job here in 4th place. He's managing that gap really good. He's starting to bleed a little bit of time away from these guys here now up front as well. Ibra here in 5th place, and I mean, we're what, 50 minutes at 2-minute lap times. We're about 4 to 5 more laps remaining here today, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it. The Supra in 7th, we got Jake in 8th, and it's about a 1.4 second gap between those two drivers, and then we're starting to see some decent sized gaps between the rest. And Barr back in 12th place, so not sure what happened to Barr, but he must have made a mistake, and now Type R back up into P11. So woes continuing for some of our drivers on the track here today, but hey, huge credit to them, man. They're still out there fighting and giving it everything they've got and doing what they can. So much love. We love to see that. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you're not having the best day, it's still track time, it's still seat time, and that's experience behind the wheel of the race car. So at the end of the day, that's also very, very important. You can have a bad day, it's okay. Next week's a whole new week, ladies and gentlemen. So Sikkim 3.6, opening the gap up tiny little bit at a time. Pigham's 2.1 seconds on 3rd place driver, getting that a little bit wrong though. Good exit there from our 3rd place driver Oliver, so he is probably going to close up just a tiny little bit there, but not too significantly. Doug 10.8, so Doug's starting to take time away from the leaders here. Ibra in 5th, Hair Razor's doing a great job here in 6th place. And that was not a glitch, ladies and gentlemen. That was just a camera switching position. Yeah, it kind of looked like a glitch, but it wasn't. Supra here in 7th. We've got GVG Jake again strong in 8th. He is closing in on Supra though. He's starting to put the pressure on. He's almost in slipstream here now. We may have to stick on board with Jake here for a minute. We may see a potential battle between these two before the end of this lap. So let's jump on board with Jake, and you can see Super really struggling through that sector there, and Jake just nice and clean and tidy through there, and he is all over the back end of Super. He's going to opt to be patient here. He could have went inside there and made the move. The room was there, but he knows that that's not the best corner to try and make the move on, so he's just going to wait. He's just going to wait for the right opportunity, and he's going to get the job done here. So let's see what happens here. Jake's going to take a nice wide entry, look for the power early here, get a good exit, but Super does much of the same thing. And Jake, unfortunately, really doesn't gain any ground there on Super on exit there, but we definitely see what he was putting down there with that really wide entry into the corner, trying to get on the power as early as possible to try and just get a little bit of a better exit on that driver up in front. So here we go, around this double hairpin. This is a tough corner here, Chad, and it really is an important part of the lap here because it leads you up to this really long, straight, high-speed section of Suzuka coming into the final few corners. So exit out of that sector is vital, and Jake got a good exit here. So Super not sure what to do there. He was semi-defending. He's just going to leave it, and Jake's just going to play nice. He's just going to park it, put a little bit of pressure in. There we go, just a little bit of pressure, making Super pay attention to what's going on in that rearview mirror, and that allows Jake to get a little bit of a line on him, and side by side through the chicane. Ooh, Jake getting a little bit squirrely, and that was a great battling right there by those two guys. So you can see the headlights flashing there from Supra, so maybe unimpressed with something, or maybe just saying, hey, that was a great move, brother. Great job. Not sure what that was, but signaling to Jake for some reason. But you can see Supra tire versus Jake's tire. At the end of the day, that was going to be inevitable right there. Let's get back up front and see what's happening here. Sikkim is in the lead, 4.2 seconds. Just needs to keep it right and tight for the next 5.5 minutes. We have Apex Pigham's here in second, and losing a little bit of time to the 3rd place driver, but not able to gain on the leader either. Oliver doing everything he can to try and get himself back up into P2 here. So some good healthy battling from our podium finishers today for sure. They're not done yet. I guess I shouldn't say podium finishers, podium contenders. Let's rephrase that here as we're nearing the end of our race. Doug here in 4th place with Ibra in 5th. And maybe a potential battle going to happen there. It's hard to say. We got Hairraiser in 6th, and he's in no man's land. He's just got to go, and he's got a nice top 6 finish there for himself. Jake again has gotten around Super and really starting to open the gap up on Super again. Tire difference is the difference on that battle. Both Snipe here in 9th place now, with Trone still rounding out our top 10. And Type R and Bar 27 starting to close back up again. So maybe, just maybe a battle happening there at the end of the pack as well. But this is our race leader here, and looking really solid, ladies and gentlemen. As we're coming through the S's, we'll jump on board and we'll allow Sikkim here to take us around Suzuka here for a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen, while I get some coffee. Alright. Gotta get the coffee in the system, chap. That's what keeps the commentator going. Loving the racing. It gives me that old-time BTCC vibes. I think that's what they were kind of going for, Chris. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because I think that that's exactly what they were going for here with the series this time. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I love what these guys come up with. That's why GT45 Gaming has stepped in as a bigger role with the Gtrc community. I think what they do here is absolutely amazing. I think their community is amazing. I consider the GTRC community a part of the GT45 Gaming community and the Winner Circle community. Their family here at GT45 Gaming. So I love what they're doing here. It's always a pleasure to be here and broadcast on their behalf, and it's always fun watching these guys race. So I couldn't agree more, Chris. This has been a very fun race here today. Pigham's in 2nd, 4.5 seconds behind leader. Oliver's made a mistake. 11 seconds behind Pigham's here now, so 4 seconds to Doug. Now, you know, funny situation. We were just talking about how Doug might be in a good spot here, sitting in 4th place with those guys looking like they were amping up the battle. But now with that mistake from Oliver, Doug is only 4 seconds away. Still 2.5 minutes, a little over 2.5 minutes remaining here, and one more little mistake, and that's enough potentially for those guys to catch up. The back end of the field looks like, for the most part, it might end where it ends. Barr is doing a great job closing up here, though, on Type R, so maybe a battle brewing at the end of the day here for those two yet as well. We're at about 2... Alright, this will be a white flag lap here, ladies and gentlemen. They will get around one more time, so we're going to probably see 28 laps from the front half of the pack, and we'll see 27 from the back half of our pack is what this is turning out to look like. Alright, so Pigham's, I mean, he's in good shape. Oliver's in good shape. Doug and Ibra, very close together here. Only 0.7 of a second now between our 4th and 5th place drivers here, so things are getting interesting. Hairraiser, he's... Oh no, and Jake just got it all kinds of wrong. He went around that corner, must have got out into... outside of that exit corner there, and it just put that car around. So Super's going to grab that spot back from Jake, and Jake is going to fall back into P8 there. So that was super unfortunate. But one heck of a smoke show, chat. Alright, Sikkim coming around. Pigham's, Oliver. This is where the fight is here currently on the track, I think, chat. And it's looking pretty spicy. We are going to get up to our race leader here, however. Make sure that they do get across the line. They have a minute to get past this final sector, so I believe Sikkim is going to get another lap here. I believe Pigham's, Smalley, Doug, and Ibra will also potentially get another lap here. So, and you see Barr and Type R there just in the sight lines of Sikkim here. So Sikkim starting to catch up to the back half of this, the back end of the pack here near the end of the race as well. So here we go, and we're just going to stick with these guys as they come around here. We want to not miss anybody crossing the start-finish line. You know how it is. That's how we roll here at GT45 Gaming. So Sikkim is going to get one more lap. Pigham's is coming around here. He's still got plenty of time to get across that start-finish line. He's got another lap. What is Oliver going to do here? He's just coming through this final sector right now. He should get through for another lap here as well. So the top 3 guys are going to be one more time around here, ladies and gentlemen, and that could change things yet. You just never know. Move to our 4th place driver, Doug, and when he comes across, this is going to be race finish for these guys. No, they both just make it across the line in time, so both these guys are going to continue on here. Oh my, I did not expect that. They just beat the buzzer there, ladies and gentlemen. The big 3-point shot going through. So it is going to be Hair Razor coming across, finishing in P6 officially here today. Supra's coming around right now, and oh no, we just caught Jake getting a little bit wrong there again as he was just starting to catch up to Supra, and you can see the tires on that BMW are just done. So, really unfortunate. Jake had him again. He was chasing and over pushing that car, overdriving the car, and yeah, he paid the ultimate price there with another spin. So, we're going to stick with Supra here as he's coming around. Whew, tough race for these drivers. Suzuka definitely made these gentlemen pay the price for their miscues here. Oh, and a half-second penalty as he comes across the line. That'll relate to an extra second. We now have Bo, Snipe, Trone, Colby, and Jake all nose to tail battling for those from the 8th, 9th, and 10th place position. So here we go as we're coming around. Oh, and contact there. Oh, that is super unfortunate. You're going to see Jake is not going to take that position. He is going to sit there. He's going to make sure that Trone gets that spot back. That was completely incidental contact right there, and that's just some class act right there from Jake. He realizes he made a mistake, and he's going to give that spot to Trone Colby back. That's what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. You know, accidents happen, mistakes happen, but actions like that speak louder than words. So, yeah, great shout to Jake there, realizing he made the mistake. And no matter what it cost for his finish, he was going to make sure that Trone stayed ahead of him there. So we have Type R coming here. I think our race leader is mixed in with this as well as he comes around. So the win does go to Sikkim. Congratulations to Sikkim. We got Piggums coming around there, and we see Barr and Type R finishing just ahead there in 11th and 12th as well. So 2nd place finish here for Piggums. We've got Oliver coming around, and it is going to be a P3 finish here for Oliver. So congratulations to him as well, and a solid race here for Oliver. And I gotta tell you, it was not incident-free from any of our drivers, and I just believe I've seen an incident between our 4th and 5th place drivers there in the background as well, between Doug and Ibra, and I think we're seeing much of the same thing here. I think we're going to see position given back here, so great job by these 2 drivers. Ibra just letting off enough to make sure Doug comes back across in 4th place, and Ibra finishing in 5th, so great battling right at the end there, and a couple of drivers making some mistakes there and doing the right thing by giving those positions back. So much love to all the field. Crazy finish here today in the GTRC BMW E30 round 1 at Suzuka. But the win does belong to Sikkim. 2nd place does belong to Apex Racing's Piggums, and 3rd place does belong to Oliver Smalley. So congratulations to those 3 drivers. And I think in the first time in the history of me broadcasting a mini championship here at the GTRC, we will not be talking to Doug on the podium. So that is something a little different, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, respect to Jake for waiting after that mistake. Facts, Matt. Facts, absolutely. We got Carson coming in with that like as well. Much love, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed the race. That was some good racing. Hey, Happy New Year's to you too, Rob. Really appreciate you, my guy. But the win does belong to this man right here, and all the way from the back of the pack, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, huge props to Sikkim. Let's get a hashtag Sikkim up in chat. SICKEM. Very well deserved. Very, very well deserved for this gentleman here today. Gentlemen, make sure you save your replays. That was some crazy racing, chat. That was some crazy racing. So we're gonna just jump over into, of course, our chat, and we're gonna do some interviews with our guys. So we always do this fun stuff. So let's go do some fun stuff, shall we? We're just gonna shut the stream audio off just for a moment. There we go. And you guys get to see the process. You guys get to see the process. Because I don't have a different screen for this overlay. Haha. Well, that looks spicy, gentlemen. Alright, who do we got here? Oliver's here. I don't know who this is. Mystery person. Pickham's takeoff. Okay. Is Sikkim in here? Yeah. Ah, you're the one that I can't see. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Just give me a second here, gentlemen. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you could hear the little chit-chat between me and the drivers there for a second. Now that we have some actual sound and you guys can hear the drivers, we will progress with our podium interviews here. So, interesting racing today, chat. That was spicy. The battle for the lead was definitely relentless there for a while, and then we've seen some big gaps, and then we've seen those big gaps close up, and it turned into some really great racing at the end of the day again, like it always seems to do here at the GTRC. So, first and foremost, congratulations to all the drivers on track, putting in an absolutely fantastic effort out there today, and tough racing for some. We had a couple cars go down early on in the race, but again, they will get points for being there at the race, so not all is lost for those two drivers. They'll get their cars fixed up, tuned up, and be ready for the next race in a couple of weeks' time. But we're going to go over and we're going to talk to Oliver. Great racing, brother. Is this your first full-time series here this season?
No, I had I think my first race was when you guys were doing the finale for the Miata Touring Cup, actually.
Right, correct. That is correct. I remember seeing you. So, coming into the BMW E30 series here, of course, with the new startup this season here at the GTRC, how'd it feel out there?
Had a great car, and I really enjoyed the track, except for there's a hairpin, but other than that, I really enjoyed the car. It felt very good. You expect the car to be really fast, but I just wanted to go for something consistent, and that's what I got today.
Absolutely, and I mean, at the end of the day, that consistency definitely was a big factor in holding that podium position today. Now, it was a bit of a crazy race. You were never actually held the lead of the race down today, but you never really left the leaders really get too far away, and then of course having that little bit of an incident at the end of the race there, pulling you a little bit off of Piggums there, but still managing to keep that 4th and 5th place battle behind you as well, and a really solid race here for you in round 1 here at Suzuka for the BMWs. So it looked good out there, and you said the car feels good. So how do you feel about moving into the next track here in 2 weeks?
I think it'll be all right. I believe the next track is Red Bull Ring. Not too sure, but whatever track it is, I'm pretty positive I'll just put some laps down and I'll just get back into it.
Well, absolutely. I would say it's a great debut to the start of the season for you, coming out with that nice, solid 3rd place finish here today, and you looked really good out there. So, shout outs. What would you anybody you want to thank or anything out there before we move forward?
Well, we'll actually shout out Oliver for finishing 3rd. I thought you were talking to the
leader. We're talking to the leader here. My bad. Well, that's all right. We'll just revamp it. You're an interesting story all in itself, too, actually. I mean, you opted not to put in a qualifying time at the beginning of the race. Was that a strategy play on your part?
Well, not necessarily, and I sort of did, but if you would count 6:18, then I guess that could be a lap time, but yeah, I had some IRL things to take care of that I was able to do in time before the race, and I figured I'd have the pace, so I'd just, be patient since it's an hour race and just take my time.
Absolutely. I mean, you were the fastest man on the racetrack today. You did hold the fastest lap down from the moment you took it till the end of the race. So, showing really incredible pace. Now, you have a 14-second lead coming out of the pit lane. I shouldn't say that. You had about a 1-second lead coming out of pit lane as you just make that undercut work and just bouncing ahead of Piggums as he made his pit stop. And then all of a sudden something happens to Piggums and you got a 14-second cushion. I mean, at that point, you just got to kind of just settle in, put in really good, solid, consistent laps, and bring it home. But then something happened. Did you have a spin there? Because all of a sudden it got real spicy again.
you hit that AstroTurf on the exit of the spoon, and then all of a sudden your car is just 180 degrees backwards on the track. But I got it back together. I'm lucky I had that 14-second buffer because I figured it's saving fuel because I figured I didn't have enough. But yeah, and all in all, it was all fun.
Well, absolutely. I mean, your first big race here in a full season attempt, coming out with the big win. So I guess that's even bigger than a third place finish for you, right? But yeah, no, great racing. And I mean, what else can we say? Obviously, when you think about who, if there was a driver of the day award, clearly that's going to belong to Sikkim. Back of the pack to first place, ladies and gentlemen. So really great showing here for your first race, and I definitely can't wait to see what you're going to bring for us here in round two. And you are racing GT4 as well, correct?
Yeah, I'll be racing there next week. Believe it's the same track.
So yeah, we will see Sikkim back on track next weekend as well with the GT4 Pro Am championship that's going on here as well on January 14th, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely look forward to see what you got. That is going to be a very tough series. I see the names stacked up in those two lineups, and boy, oh boy, I think the fans are in for a treat during that series this season. But great racing today. You definitely showed that you had a good handle on the BMW, and shout outs and thank yous.
For sure.
Do you have any shout outs or thank yous?
I want to give my contributions to the runner-ups of the race. They really gave me a challenge, especially even before the incident after the pits.
Absolutely. Well, greatly appreciate it. Congratulations on a big race win, and we'll see you next week.
For sure.
All right, so my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I was talking to Oliver. We were actually talking to Sikkim, our race winner. Apex Racing's Pigums had to take off, so he won't be available for interviews today. So we will now move down to our third place driver, Oliver. How you doing, my friend?
Great, I'm doing good.
All right. My apologies, my friend. My mistake. Third place finish for you today, and you were, as I was saying to Sick, I'm thinking he was you. You looked really good out there. You were really consistent, and that consistency, I think, is really the contributing factor to you holding down that final podium position. We did see a couple of mistakes out of yourself, as we've seen out of pretty much every single driver here today. You weren't alone, that's for sure. Suzuka definitely was not nice to the drivers today. They made a few of the drivers pay the price, and of course you were no exception. So just talk us about your race today. How did it feel out there?
Qualifying was quite good, and with qualifying, I was trying to catch on the leader, well, the qualifying leader, Pegans, with a great lap of a 2:09, and it was unfortunate on the last lap. I got a purple sector on the final bit. I went around 1:30 and I thought this is going to be good, but until I broke too early on the chicane, I just blew away a pole position shot. But second place, not too bad. So started off the race, and I felt really nervous on the first corner because after when you start on the right hand side on the grid, you don't really get a good launch apart from the left hand side. So Petrol, who done really well, but unfortunately retired because of his PlayStation crashing. That's the normal thing for me, but I can't say that word because not he'll just try and talk to me again. As I was saying, yeah, Petrol had unfortunately retired because of his console, and I did felt bad for him because he was given a run for the money, especially for us three trying to battle for the lead. And I was just watching Petrol and Pegham's just focusing on each other, and I thought if I lay back, watch one of those two try and make a big mistake by trying to fight for each other, I'll probably be able to get past them, then try and pull a gap. It wasn't the case, but on lap 13, 14, I was low on fuel, and I thought, oh, I'll try and get to the half-hour mark, see if I can pit. And as soon as I said that, my tyres decided to give way. So locked up, went straight on the AstroTurf on turn 1 and 2. And I thought, yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to do another lap. So I'll cut them in and see what I can do, try and do an undercut, see if I can try and get ahead of Piggums. I got close to him, I don't know what happened in to Piggins, because on the spoon section, not spoon section, on the S's, he went really wide. He was on the grass. I thought he was going to park, and then he just came back on slowly. So he made a mistake, because I thought, right, if I could try and push a bit, try and stay ahead, keep ahead, do what I keep doing, I should be all right. It got all right, and then I made a couple more mistakes. Then Peckham got past me, and then I thought, right, tyres are going again. I need to be careful. So I decided to try and save fuel. Then I was getting attacked by Doug, because Doug was closing the gap. It was near enough 10 seconds. He dropped it to 5, and I thought, right, I'll give it a go. And as soon as I push it, car decided to spin on me, and I thought, great, right into the wall. Damage was on light. Thankfully, I think if that was on full, I think that would not be a podium for me. But other than that, it was a great race. Just those AstroTurf are very difficult indeed in Suzuka. And the track, what I really slate a lot, but every time I slate it, I normally get a podium. So maybe Suzuka does like me, and it would just have a massive relationship fallout. But P3, very happy coming back after everything what's been going on in my lifestyle, as I've said in the pre-season. And loads of people came in and actually said it's good to go through this style. Life can be hard. And I think to the fans what replied to me and just say, giving me that support, I just really want to thank all those people that gave me loads of support, even to my friends as well. Even in the racing league, even to you. I just want to thank everyone giving me that, I don't know, just that welcome back, because I feel like it's hard to come back to something what you love a lot when you've been beaten down time and time again. But having everyone what just come in and just basically giving me that support, you guys are amazing. Thank you ever so much, and just hopefully that podium is all for you guys, and I hope you guys are cheerful for that. That was all for you. Thank you, everyone.
Well, well said, my man. That was a very great response with a very powerful message at the end. And, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to touch on that just for a second here. You hear me say it a lot through broadcasting, through my own page, through my normal content. The sim racing community is bar none. There isn't another gaming community out there quite like the sim racing community. And the one thing that does happen most importantly in sim racing, ladies and gentlemen, is we all pick each other up when we're down. Very rarely is it a case of somebody being kicked to the ground. It's always a case of the community coming and picking that person up, no matter what it is they're going through. So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you're sitting on the fence, you're not sure if you want to get involved in league racing, I highly recommend it, because it's a different kind of mentality. It is a family situation. You build those bonds with your competitors and the people around in the community. So, just remember, ladies and gentlemen, you're not alone. We're always available to be reached out to, even if you just need to vent. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help you. We want to see everyone succeed in life. And this is just a good example of it right here from Oliver. So, thank you for sharing that to start with, my man. We really do appreciate that. I really like those real life stories like that. And much love, and I hope you have a fantastic season and really enjoy your time back.
A lot, and hopefully it'll go well in GR4s. I'm not expecting to get a top 3 in the McLaren, although it's great in the corners, so grippy, you won't make a mistake. It's just that lack of power on the straights, and I think if I do get a top 3, I will be happy and delightful. But I've just got to work hard enough to try and earn it. And at the end of the day, it's like what you say. When you get kicked down, you just got to lift yourself back up and try and fight for something what you believe you can do. And that's what I'm going to try and do. Even if the McLaren is not going to be so powerful on the straight, just got to keep fighting. Got to keep not giving up with it. Got to keep pushing.
Absolutely, very well said, and congratulations on, in your return to GTRC. We're absolutely thrilled to see you back, and thrilled to see you still got what it takes to land yourself on the podium. So, look out, ladies and gentlemen. Oliver is coming for some championship titles here at the GTRC this season. Drivers better take note. Congratulations, great racing, my man. Great message as well. I couldn't have ended the stream any better. You just did it all for me. I really appreciate the kind words. And I know that the community watching right now felt those words, and they got you back. So I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you next week for the GT4s. All right, guys, you guys are good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so without further ado, let me grab my microphone, get it a little bit closer so you can hear me. All right, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the broadcast here today. We're going to catch up a chat real quick, and we're going to talk about what we can expect to see next weekend here from the GTRC as well. Now, the mini championship runs every other week, and then in between the mini championship series is the main championship, and that is the GT4 championship series. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that does kick off next weekend, January 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. UK time, and it is going to be a 2-lobby series, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Pro Division and a Pro-Am Division right now scheduled to be full lobbies, and there's also a team and manufacturer aspect to this series. This is a very great series. It's very complex. There's a lot of moving parts, but it's going to be an absolutely fantastic series. It is GT4 cars this season, and I can't wait to see what comes. We got lots of fresh new faces coming into the season this year, and that is going to add to the intrigue and the intensity of the racing. The lineups are stacked. It's going to be some good racing, so you definitely don't want to miss next weekend here at the GTRC to see that GT4 championship start up. And again, it will be broadcast by myself on the Pro Division here at GT45 Gaming and the GTRC YouTube, and the Pro-Am Division will be live broadcast right beside us by Nolander Gaming over on Facebook. And you guys will be able to go back and forth between the two streams to see whichever race you would like to see at your leisure, and we do appreciate it. So, I mean, what else can we say? Great start up to the season here in 2023 for the GTRC. I wouldn't expect anything less from these guys. They put it all on the line week in and week out for the competition, for the fans, and we absolutely love it. It was some great stuff here today. I mean, huge love to the viewers out there. You guys came out popping, cheering everybody on. I mean, that's fantastic. That's what we love to see. Simon holds his line. Happy New Year. What are the odds, says baby. What else we got over on the Facebook here? Loving the racing. We got GG drivers from Chris. We got GG from Cody B as well. Forza streamer over here on Facebook Gaming too as well, ladies and gentlemen. Be looking for more to come between GT45 and of course Cody B. So with that being said, we are going to close the stream off, ladies and gentlemen. I have some other things I need to attend to here yet before my next set of broadcasts tonight. So much love. Thanks everybody for tuning in, man. It has been a spectacular day. We missed you. We missed you in the comms box here. We're glad we're back, and boy, oh boy, we have comms coming for you guys here over the next few months. So, you like the content, you like the commentary, you like the racing, do me a favor, hit that follow over on Facebook, hit that subscribe if you're on the YouTube channels, and definitely, please, ladies and gentlemen, throw us a like and a share. It's free to do. Definitely helps us grow. It helps us reach more people, to show more people what we're doing. The bigger the community grows, the more we can do for our community worldwide. So we appreciate everybody. On behalf of the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing community, I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Stay winning, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you all matter, and we'll see you all next week.